Good morning, everyone. I'm Tessie Paul from Bulwark Technologies. First of all, thanks everyone for joining this webinar. I hope all of you are doing well and safe. Bulwark is a value-added distributor of information security solution having 22 plus years experience in Middle East and now in India for last 4 years. This company has established in the year of 1999 in Middle East and in 2017 in India. We have 24 plus technology vendors and 700 plus business partners in Middle East and India. Bulwark has established an excellent track record in delivering world-class products and excellent customer service. We are offering award-winning products with excellent customer service. We deliver round-clock value-added service through our partner network across the Middle East, Asia, Indian subcontinent region. We work as an extended arm of our vendors whom we represent in the region, promoting and selling the IT security products and solutions through our reseller channel partners. This webinar is a part of our ongoing partner enablement activities to support our channel partners in Oman to become familiar with, understand more about the product and solution handled by us. Today, we are here with ESET, a company offering endpoint solution over 30 years in the Middle East, and they have a local office in Dubai, Indian city. Today, we are going to discussing about SafetyCare, which is a data loss prevention and threat incident prevention solution. Bulwark is a distribution partner of ESET in the Middle East, and today's SafetyCare session covers the product overview and product live demo. With this, let me welcome Mr. Ali Ahmad Ali Ansari, pre-sales engineer of ESET Middle East, to take you through the product and product demo. Good morning, Ali. Thank you for conducting
Hi,
this
good
session
morning.
for our channel
Yes.
partners. I'm now handing over to take it further. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tessie. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Ahmed Ali. I'm the pre-sales for ESET Middle East. Now, in today's session, we'll be talking about the data leakage as well as data loss, also in terms of the insider threat protection. We'll start with a very short presentation, and after that we'll have a Q&A round in case if you have any questions. Other than that, we'll be also showing you the live demo, how exactly the product looks like, what are the features, how exactly it works. In case if you have any questions, please write it on the chat box, and definitely we'll be answering that before closing the session. To start with, let me just share my screen. Great. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Myself, Ahmed Ali, I'm the pre-sales for Middle East region. And today we'll be talking about SafetyCare in terms of how exactly SafetyCare can help your customers in the Oman region in terms of data visibility, in terms of data protection, as well as the insider threat, which is again one of the challenging tasks. Coming to the SafetyCare again, this all the company introduction will be doing it in terms of what exactly SafetyCare sets apart, comparing with most of the other solutions in the market, how exactly it can help your customers and the product portfolio. Thereafter, we'll also see some of the third-party integration which can be done with SafetyCare as a solution. So SafetyCare again comes from a Czech Republic-based company founded in 2011. We are basically focused on data loss as well as the insider threat for all size and shapes of the company, irrespective of whether the customer is having just a small segment or he wants to protect a large segment customers. We fit into all the verticals. Other than that, we have been listed with Gartner, Forrester, Radicati, and the software reviews as well. If you see the report of 2021 or 2022 of the software reviews, again, in terms of ease of integration, implementation, or the DLP features, we are again been there in the market competing with top vendors. SafetyCare also have the technology alliance coming with the products like ESET as an endpoint. We also have a complete technology alliance with Fortinet. So in case if your customers are using Forti Firewall, Forti-Mail, Forti-SIM, we can integrate that with our solution as well. Other than that, in terms of Office 365 integration, SharePoint, OneDrive integration, we can also do that with the help of Microsoft as our gold partner. When we talk about the market, one of the things which is again very important when you talk about a DLP solution is how ease of use that product is. how exactly it can be implemented, what all infrastructure requirement is, because customers are again not clear with what exactly has to be done when it comes to the DLP solution. That's where our solution fits in perfectly with giving a complete benefit in terms of ease of integration, ease of use and deployment as well. That's where we compete with top vendors when you see the product features and satisfaction comparing to the vendor's experience and the capabilities. So that's where we are competing with McAfee, TrustWave, and ForcePoint in terms of productive. Moreover, what exactly defines Safetica as unique? As I said, the ease of deployment and ease of use is something which is very cool. You can deploy the product in less than an hour and it would start working there itself. It does not require a very heavy infrastructure or dedicated infrastructure. You can run down at any Windows Server platform with at least 4 GB RAM and 2 CPU cores with 100 GB of space. Other than that, it very much focus on the advanced workspace as well as the behavior analysis. We try to gather complete information about the end user in terms of what all activity he's trying to do. And again, in terms of behavior analysis, we try to see if there is any risk analysis which has been happening based on the activities done by that particular user. Also, in terms of reporting visibility tool, it gives you a very clear context. It does not require to drill down many things. If you just want to get down with the reports, let's say data security report, or in terms of workspace report, behavior analysis report, we have certain predefined reports, as well as customer can define his own dashboard or his own layout in terms of fetching down the report. So that's something which is again quite easier when it comes to the Safetica. Now, comparing with the other solution, what exactly defines Safetica is the export protection. We cover the complete data security channels as well as the insider threats. That in case of somebody is trying to do some kind of activity, and maybe intentionally or unintentionally, the file went out of the organization. Now, depending upon whether that particular file was protected, that means it was already been classified, or the file was not protected, it was not been classified, we can still generate the complete information, as well as we can try to generate the forensic evidence about that activity. Also, it does not require heavy systems requirement when it comes to the client or server architecture. It will also not put the unnecessary load. So when you deploy a solution like Safetica or any other DLP solution, it do a lot of things in terms of classification services, information services, DLP services, content analysis. Now that's where it can slow down your system. It can slow down your server as well. And Safetica makes sure that it resists a very minimum resource, and it will make sure that it does not put certain heavy load onto the system. Also, we support the multi-platform. So again, it is supported on Windows platform as well as on the Mac OS. Coming down to the inbuilt policies, and in terms of defining the wizards policy can help you to make sure that if there is any particular mistake done by the people itself, it can send them the notification, it can educate them, or you can just block the channels for them in case if somebody is trying to capture some of the files from maybe your CRM application. And if he is not the authorized user, you can directly block that file. So once the file is downloaded, he cannot move the file, he cannot open the file, print that particular file, or work on that particular file. So we can block it completely there itself. That's what we can define with the help of Safetica. When you talk about in terms of presence, again, we have been spacing around with almost 120 plus countries and almost 220 plus business partners. Almost we have many partners again doing working with the Middle East region, and we have many references as well. In terms of, we talk about Oman region or we talk about the entire Middle East, we have certain big references which we can give you. When you talk about references, certain references globally available on different verticals of customers, and we also have certain big names. When you talk about Oman, we have Muscat Insurance, we have Voltamp as our customers, and certain other customers as well. So these are some of the the references which we have in the region as well. Moreover, let's talk about the key pillars of the product strategy, how exactly we defined our product strategy. One of the prime product strategy of Safetica is to identify the user, data, and the workspace. We try to make sure that who is the user, what data he's trying to access, whether it is in motion or it is in use. With that, we also try to generate the complete information about the workspace. That's where we can detect and respond in terms of if there is any unidentified application or any application which is not a business application and trying to utilize or use the data. When is it in use or it is in motion, we can define most of the policies. Other than that, we have a very powerful integration with most of the hybrid environments. So once the client is installed on your machine, everything comes down into the protection. Whether the user is accessing known application or unknown application, we can identify those application and we can apply the rules. We can also scale and automate the process in terms of defining the user's policies, because a DLP is a solution. Maybe today, if a customer goes with a certain policies, he has to make sure that he is changing that in the coming up times based on the solution evolves. There are a lot of things, a lot of applications which are coming around. That's where we can interact with the end user. We can send them the notification. Also, we can make them aware what exactly is the sensitive content, that means the data which is already been classified, or we can also tell the user to classify the data in case if they want to do. So we have both the options available, and based on that we can interact with the end user and make sure that whatever data we have, that is been secured at our premises before it is going out of the organization. That's where the product strategy comes into picture. Other than that, when you talk about the sensitive content, most of the customers are not able to understand what exactly needs to be defined based on the different companies verticals. If they are into a financial sector, they are into trading sector, they are into logistics, we can help them to define what exactly can be a sensitive content in terms of personal data, strategic plan, customers database, intellectual properties, or maybe the contracts. Now that's where, in case if any of this thing is going out of the organization when it is at rest, in motion, or in use, we can make sure that we block such things, whether it is going through some disgruntled employees, or maybe just a human error while sending the email. The wrong person has been attached to that particular email, and that's where we can make sure that all such frequent leaks can be easily gets detected by Safetica in terms of sensitive content, and we can block those things. Coming down to how exactly we define or how exactly we help. So very first part, what exactly we do with most of the scenario is to audit. So auditing is basically we try to generate the complete data flow information as well as the early detection in terms of insider threats. We try this solution goes completely hidden. So basically once you install the product, the user will not see anywhere in the control panel or the services or in the taskbar that there is some kind of thing which has been installed, or it does not give any kind of notification which will help the user to know that okay, I am being tracked or I'm being monitored. That's where we try to generate all of that information, and with that information we define what exactly policies can be done at this particular environment. Also, we can generate the notifications to the end user in terms of a safe work at the very early stage, so that they knows that something is going around, and we have been again watched whatever activities we are trying to do. And in terms of if it is something which is very critical in terms of sensitive content, we can directly block that particular content as well, so we can apply the protection. So that's where we first try to audit all the information. With the auditing information, we educate the end user, and then we provide the protection. So this is how the flows, or in terms of Safetica, can help most of the organization against the DLP solutions. Coming down to what all the channels we cover. So in terms of channels, if you see, we try to cover complete data channels. So whether you talk about USB, CD, DVD, personal drives, or in terms of portable devices, we can scan all of those and we can block it. We can also try to monitor the printing activity. We can try to monitor control C, control V kind of activity, copy paste activity, snipping tool activities. We can try to block in terms of only that particular devices which have been allowed. Other than that, if there is any other devices in terms of Bluetooth or infrared or firewire, we can easily block those devices. We can also define certain applications like Skype application, Teams application, which is frequently used in terms of this pandemic. Many people are using for doing online meetings. In case if you try to publish certain content which is again a sensitive content, it goes completely hidden to the other side person, so they will not able to view what exactly you are showing as a file. We can also integrate Office 365 completely. That means we can do a complete email auditing for M365, whether user access the email on his office or laptop or his personal PC or any other devices. We can make sure that the complete tenant again is been integrated with Safetica in terms of filtering out the entire email which is sending or receiving at that particular point. In terms of cloud, yes, we can also integrate most of the cloud application. We can audit OneDrive, we can audit Dropbox, we can audit Google Drive as well. Also, in terms of file sharing via WeTransfer, Dropbox, social media, we can track all of those. We can also integrate the complete Outlook. That means you will be having the complete information about the email which is flowing down to your Outlook, as well as in case of POP3 IMAP, we can also integrate that. So in overall, if you see, we try to scan down, we try to integrate everything with our solution, apart from going ahead with buying certain email DLP licenses or certain other integrations in terms of email gateways, or when it comes to certain other ICAP or proxy which is required to scan down the HTTPS traffic. Safetica has its own defined policies or in terms of services which can help you to scan all of this with one particular single agent. So that's where Safetica works. In terms of deploying the solution, we can integrate everything in terms of SIM, Fortinet firewall, any other third-party classification. We talk about bolt engines, Titus, Neutrix, whatever is their metadata, we can integrate, as well as we can make sure we apply the rules based on that particular metadata. So it's again a very simple client-server architecture. This solution is completely on-prem. We don't have in cloud. So again, one of the added layer of protection, mostly for the government customers, and whatever data it is, it will stay at their server level itself. And once you apply the rules, you can define the policies for whatever content, whether it is for email, it is for cloud, any other third-party devices, printing activities, or HTTPS traffic. We can detect, notify, or justify or block that activity. So in a very simple terminology, what exactly we use it, we just try to make sure that customer can have their own server on-prem, deploy the solution, integrate in case if they want to with their SIM or Fortinet firewall, apply the rules, and then automatically based on different categories, user-based, group-based, they can apply the policies as well. Coming down to what exactly the licensing or the product portfolio Safetica carries. So Safetica carries a very simple product portfolio in terms of Safetica One Discovery, Safetica One Protection, and Safetica One Enterprise. Now Safetica One Discovery is specifically only for auditing purposes. In case you want to block certain things, you can go with Safetica One Protection, which includes endpoint DLP, network DLP, and cloud DLP. For certain other API integrations like Fortinet firewall integration or SIM solution integration, we can do only with the Safetica One Enterprise. We also have two optional modules. So one is the UEBA, which is user entity and behavior analysis. To generate more in-depth information about the user's activity, we can go ahead, customer can go ahead with this license, or he can also go with the Safetica Mobile, which is again our MDM solution managed from the same Safetica console. So what exactly Safetica One Discovery carries in case where a customer does not want to block anything, he just want to monitor, he just want to see what exactly users are doing in terms of any kind of data security incidents, or in terms of the regulatory compliance violation. He can generate all of those information with the help of Safetica One Discovery. It can also help you to audit and classify the sensitive content, generate the instant notification, analyze the user's activity, as well as integrate with your Office 365. So you can audit your OneDrive, you can audit your SharePoint, you can audit your emails, Exchange Online as well. So this is how Safetica One Discovery can gives you. In case if customer requires something as one step ahead in terms of protection, just to control everything, that means he wants to have a full control of his sensitive data as well as the internal risk. So he can do that with the help of Safetica One Protection. With this, he can also generate a complete security report, that is data security report, security audit reporting, in case if he wants to go ahead with certain compliances he is following and he wants to submit the report. Again, you can generate a very comprehensive reporting directly from Web Safetica. You can also define Safetica zones. So basically, he can allow certain devices, websites, addresses, IP addresses, email domains, or all of these things in as a safe zone. Other than that, rest of the things he can block it for the user. So he can define multiple zones as well, depending upon different departments. Also, he can create a shadow copy of the file. So in case if a user is very smart enough to change the file name and try to send those files maybe on some different channels, in case the file is leaked out of the organization, still you can download those files as a forensic evidence. You can generate the complete log information. If it is sent through an email, we can generate a complete email information in .eml format, and he can see that what exactly the user was communicating. So all in one, we can have a complete forensic evidence against the certain users which we want to monitor with the help of shorty copy features. So all of this in terms of defining a very clear context policies, it can help you with the help of Safetica One Protection. Again, we can define the policies whether user is online or user is offline. So it will be, in both the terminologies. So once you deploy the endpoint with the policies of safety cover and protection, whether the user is inside the network or he goes outside, the policy remains intact on his machine. Moreover, SafetyCare enterprises for the customers who are looking out to integrate certain third-party integration as well as certain advanced features. So advanced features in terms of classifications, we can do that. Advanced feature in terms of applying the rules based on application level, we can do that with the help of our SafetyCare enterprise. Other than that, we can do custom branding. Again, you can change the logo, you can fill up certain information, you can define the workflow control policies, you can define a multi-domain architecture. That means you can have multiple domains integrated with the SafetyCare directly in terms of applying the rules. Also, you can have the SIM integration and the Fortinet firewall integration as well with the help of SafetyCare enterprise. So very slight difference in terms of protection, again carries everything, but in case if you want to have certain advanced features or application level of controlling in terms of data leakage, you can do that with SafetyCare enterprise. And then the UEBA license, again, this is something which is very important, and most of the customer are, want to go ahead with certain things where they want to have a deep insight about the email communication happening, whether the user is doing with his own personal domains, web mails, or any other business emails. We can generate the complete information about that. We can track the changes in the user's behavior, what time he logged in, what time he logged out, what is the active time, inactive time, with the help of UEBA. Also, UEBA can give you a complete audit resource usage and other users as well, in case if you want to show to the management about certain usage done in terms of job search, in terms of certain other activities happening. You can generate a very comprehensive real-time reporting about daily activity or weekly activity. So it will be going, per second activity as well. In case if user is not active for, let's say, the 5 minutes, automatically it goes as inactive, and what all time he was not active, it will be generating a complete report on that as well as a inactive reporting. So it will give you a very deep insight about the user activity. It's again very, very important in terms of defining not only just the DLP, but the insider threat detection with the help of UEBA license. Moreover, as I said, we try to integrate third-party integration with M365. You can do a complete data security audit in the cloud. That means Microsoft SharePoint, OneDrive Business, the complete data flow, whatever is uploading, downloading, happening, as well as you can block. Maybe if you want to block OneDrive Personal, you can block that as well. We can define the policies on that. We can also define the AIP protection as a third-party classification with our SafetyCare one. Again, it goes with SafetyCare and Discovery and Protection and Enterprise, all of three bundles. And we can define the policies where if there is any kind of sensitive content, if it is transferred via Exchange Online, we can detect that and block it. So it is something like, a same DLP policy can sync from the endpoint and to the cloud. That means if the user has installed it on the business laptop, and if he goes home on his personal laptop, still the sensitive content detection policies will be directly applied on that as well. So it's like a one policy and double the protection, whether it is a managed client or it is unmanaged client for Office 365. Coming to the Fortinet integration, we try to integrate FortiGate firewall. So in case customer already using FortiGate firewall, they can do the API integration directly with the FortiGate firewall in terms of doing the SSL inspection. Now this goes again in a very similar manner, whether the user is managed or unmanaged. Whatever traffic, if it is going through the firewall, it will be inspected and it will be scanned on by the DLP sensors, which is our SafetyCare DLP sensors. So complete data classification can be synchronized with the FortiGate, and on the different channels, it can also be blocked. Same goes with the FortiMail in terms of sending sensitive emails. If it is scanned on by the FortiMail for all the incoming and outgoing, we can easily apply the rules with the help of SafetyCare, and SafetyCare sensors will be marking and generating the information about all the sensitive content going through that particular FortiMail. In terms of recognizing certain things as an incident, or there is any particular detections happening, we can integrate that with the FortiSIM as well, in terms of giving you a very clear context of what exactly is the behavior got detected at the any particular user's endpoint. So FortiSIM can also be integrated with our solution. So that's all we have in terms of integration. Just to summarize what exactly SafetyCare DLP is before closing the presentation, I just want to tell you that DLP is something which is again a core requirement of every customer, and Safetica is some solution which includes everything, not only just DLP, insider threat protection, third-party integration, data classification, device control, as well as encryption, which we haven't discussed, but in the demo I'll be showing you. We can cover all of those with a one single licenses. Again, it is very quick and easy to deploy. It does not require a very heavy infrastructure. It's a complete on-prem solution, so you can pitch in directly to your government customers in case if they are looking out for a solution which is completely on-prem. Again, it requires a very low hardware on endpoints as well as on the server, so it does not require a heavy infrastructure. It can be deployed on the existing infrastructure as well. We have different product tiers which can chosen by the customer in case if he wants to just audit it and later on he wants to go with upgrading the license. We can do that on the prorated basis. We can do a wide range of third-party integration. And again, in case if customer is looking out for a cloud option, if he's having maybe the Microsoft instance on his Amazon, Azure, on any other cloud platform, he can deploy Safetica, because Safetica just require a Windows platform, Windows Server platform to deploy the solution. So again, he can deploy over there and he can use it for mostly the small segment customers. So that's all with the Safetica as a solution, as a DLP solution, and the insider threat protection. That's it from my side. In case if you have any question, do let us know. We will be discussing that and then we will be proceeding ahead. Yeah, so this is how the Safetica dashboard looks like. Again, this is from my virtual machine, which I'm running down. So this is the very first panel, the dashboard, how exactly it look like. It can be predefined. It can be, based on how exactly you want. You can save the settings. You can drag most of the content from the right hand side panel and you can create your own dashboard. This can again helps you in terms of generating the reports, where you can see the complete file operation in terms of copy, paste, delete, web upload, web download, in terms of most active application, the email send receive, the operations in terms of what operations are happening at the particular endpoint, also the most active applications running down. So let's talk about the auditing, what exactly Safetica will be doing or generating the information in terms of auditing. So in terms of auditing, Safetica would be generating the complete information about all the activities happening at your endpoint. So if you see in today's date, what all activities I have defined, it is already showing over here in terms of open, copy, delete, email, create, web upload, web download, or IM send file. All the files which have been sent, let's say this file was particularly sent on to the USB, it has generated the complete information about the USB. I can either block the USB directly from this particular policy, or I can run down this directly to my allowed rules. So I have multiple options from where, from the console itself, where I see all my logs coming in, I can define the rules. Similar way, I will be generating, complete information about the email activities, what exactly the activities are running down over the email in terms of network traffic, what all applications were being used, whether it was instant messaging application, it was the Safetica application, or it is a web browser activity. Also, in case if I want to add some more in terms of application category, I can define that directly from here. So I can customize this dashboard based on what exactly I want to know. In terms of print activity, all the print activities, whether it was run down through certain application or it was run down through certain other things. You can see over here there was one virtual print happen or network printers. It will be generating both the information about all the printing activities. Coming to the web activities, it will be showing all the web activities which the user is doing. It will be also checking out the topmost categories. In case if you want to move certain websites based on your activities, you can define your own categories as well. Something like if I want to define this into companies website category, I can define this, and once in case if I want to allow this particular website, I can just select it and automatically this particular website will be going to the company allow website. So like this, I can define the rules, I can define the policies, and I can make sure that I can allow and deny the website blocking as well. Coming to the device information, all the devices which are inserted in terms of if I want to know who was the vendor, the interface type, what applications were being used in terms of running those, what is the device type, all of these informations I can generate directly from here. It will also give me an option of description. So if I add a description directly over here, it can help me to detect and allow that particular device or deny that particular device. So I can define and I can move it to the zones if it is a very new device. So it is again very helpful for the customer just if he wants to allow, or some user might complain that, okay, I want to allow certain USB, he can move that particular USB directly from the logs itself. He can go to that particular user's activity, see what exactly devices are currently detecting at the machine, and he can select those devices and directly move it to the allow zone, deny zone, or any other zone if he has defined. Coming to the application, all the application in terms of runtime applications, what all applications were run down, in terms of application category, it will generate the complete information directly from here. And again, with the help of application category, if in case there are certain applications which is getting blocked, whether it is a system application or it is a third-party application, you can easily allow those application from the console itself, where you see all your live traffic running down from here itself. You can run down and you can add those particular application again to your business application, or if you have defined the custom category, directly from here you can define and allow those things. So this is how it will make sure that all the things at the user level, whether it is application, devices, a web activity, print activity, network traffic, email activities, file activities, it will be detecting all of those directly from here. Coming down to in case if customer not just want the auditing information, maybe he wants to have protection as well. So what exactly protection includes? So protection includes many things in terms of device control, what all devices you want to allow or block, whether you want to define these rules for user level, or you want to define directly on the tree level. You have both the options available. So from here itself, you can define the device settings, saying that, okay, if I want to allow certain devices, what all unassigned items I have defined, these all printers have been detected, I can directly move all of these printers to my allow zone. I can move maybe certain other USBs to that allow zone. I can move Bluetooth devices as well to that allowed zone. And once I have defined the allow zone in my zone content, I can add, let's say, the email domain, in case if I don't want to block anything for my company domain, but if in case if it is going to certain other domains, I want to restrict it, I can define all of that directly from here. So device control will be something where everything, once you have defined and once you have audited that particular information, you can just click on finish, and once it is done, rest of the settings in terms of USB, you can either block it, you can put it on the read-only mode, you can just say that notify me, you can either put it on test mode to just generate all the information about that, or you can allow it. Considering if you just block it or just put it in the read-only mode, automatically the devices which are the newly devices will be detected, and again it will just allow them to read the information which is there on that particular USB. But in case if they want to transfer anything, it will not allow. Same goes with card reader, CD, DVD, Windows portable devices, that is the mobile phones, infrared devices, Bluetooth devices, COM ports, LPT ports. So almost everything you can define in your device control. There you have one more option of discard. So discard is something where you can make sure that in case if I want to just allow OneDrive for my business, but I don't want it to be, send or receive anything on OneDrive personal, you can block it. Same goes with the SharePoint, Google Drive, Dropbox, or any other box sync. You can also add the local path in case if you don't want certain users to access certain local paths or network paths, you can directly define over here, and you can easily block it, or you can just put it on the read only mode. So maybe if you have a network storage which is map drive, and you don't want certain users to directly access certain other locations which can be very sensitive places where most of the files are done and saved for the top management people only, you can directly restrict that particular zone. You can just deny that, or you can just allow them, but you can keep it in the read only mode, so they will not have any rights to change or modify anything on that particular file, but just to view that particular file. So that is something the discard provides you and helps you to protect most of your network drives, or local path, or in terms of any kind of data which is going through Google Drive, Dropbox as well. Coming to the very important part, which is our data categorization. As I said, the very important thing is to how you classify your sensitive content. Not only just the sensitive content, when you talk about data categorization, it usually depends upon two very important things. So one is basically content, which is there inside the file. while the second part is the context, basically how exactly you want to drive, or what exactly was that particular context in terms of defining the data classification. So in terms of sensitive content, we can define based on dictionaries, algorithms, keywords, or regular expression. I can add my own keywords. I can add my I can select the existing algorithm, something like credit card or IBAN information. I can add my dictionary words as well, and I can create my own data category. So in this data category, whatever is running down in terms of credit card or IBAN details, or if I want to add my own dictionary words, I can add it over here. If I want to define certain expressions, I can also define that. It also works on OCR. So we have the OCR capability as well. Uh, Basically, you can define your own custom OCRs in terms of PNG, JPEG, or any other. Or you can keep it as a recommended, because Safetica itself has that capability of detecting anything if it is on the OCR platform. So any kind of file or any kind of PDF itself, if it is on the OCR part, we can still scan those information and we can block it. So this is something where it will only detect and generate all the informations, and it will record directly on your Safetica. So all the data which have been detected, it will be tagging all of those data with the help of context tool. So here, if I just want to show you certain information that this is something which was detected as one particular social security numbers, that is a few occurrence. But if I run down certain other things, there is also the options where I can see several occurrence, that means more than 10, or I can also see many occurrence, that is more than 100. So based on what all attributes or what all file is exactly containing, it will be defining based on that. And once the data is classified, you can apply the DLP policies. You can say that, okay, this is for my sensitive content where I have selected my data classification category, that is my data category, and I have applied certain rules. So I have applied the rules where I have said that, okay, if anything is going to any of this thing, just give the option in terms of block or override. Other than that, if there is any clipboard activity, print activity, or virtual print, it will be directly blocking that particular part. Also, I have given the overrides. That means user have the option in case if he is trying to transfer certain things, if he is going here and composing any particular file, and if he wants to transfer certain documents or certain files as well directly from here. Let's say we will add this particular image file. If he wants to transfer anything, automatically the override will be action will be coming up where he can select, okay, this file is not sensitive, or I just need one time exception. So he can mention that I need this for business purpose. And once he mentioned this information, this particular activity will be allowed. That means the attachment will be detected and allowed to it, but the action would be logged. So whatever actions was been defined will be automatically gets logged to my DLP policies. So if I just want to show you over here, so automatically we just uploaded certain things. So you can see over here the action was override, and it is showing that in terms of details, if I click on it, it will show that, okay, I have selected the one-time exception and I have mentioned that I need this for business purpose only. Also, in case, let's say the file name is changed and I don't know what exactly was that file, I can easily collect the information directly from here. So I can add this particular information to my information collection. Automatically, this would scan down everything and it will make sure that that particular file is available for download. It takes 5 to 10 minutes in terms of generating the information. But again, if you want to know what attachment went out, because the user has selected the override option, he has mentioned, I need it for the business purpose. Still, if the management asks, or the customer has that thing that, okay, I want to know what was that particular file, he can easily add that to the information collection, and automatically once the file is ready to download, automatically it will show him directly over here. So let it be, it's taking it will take 5 to 10 minutes. Let's jump into second activity which I just want to show you. So what exactly we did was for the sensitive content in terms of context tool. Now context tool is something where I can define the complete context in terms of what exactly data which is in use or which is in motion. So consider that there are certain applications in terms of email client application, PDF reader application, or maybe I have my own company application. If file is something in terms of docs, XML, or PDF, automatically the file should be tagged as sensitive. That means if somebody is downloading any file from the Outlook attachment. So if there is any attachment in the Outlook and somebody is trying to download and save it, I can automatically classify the files. Now, based on my policies, I can define the rules that, okay, once the file is classified, he cannot print it or he cannot do any other activity. This goes with mostly the financial sector customers, where the user can, define certain things, or he can just run down some CRM on his web application. So I have also added certain things in web.whatsapp or Gmail, where in case if user is downloading anything from this particular domain, automatically it should be marked as sensitive, because these are the certain the places where in case if he's trying to download anything, the file would be definitely a sensitive file. Based on the groups and categories, you can define the data categorization. Also, you can define the path. So define the location. Maybe it can be a map drive, it can be C drive, D drive, and you can scan that particular thing in terms of identifying the file. So context rule is basically where you can identify or where you can detect the files or tag the files based on application rule, based on web rules, or based on path rules. So automatically once you have defined this, it will start running down and detect all the files which we have been tagged. So if you see over here in my Microsoft Outlook, I have downloaded a file called as Oman meeting, which was automatically detected and classified. So here it is showing that this is basically the user action. For certain application, it can also be your inter application file. So maybe for this particular file, if I go over here, it would be showing, okay, this is showing user action. But here it is showing that it's an internal application file. That means this file was directly open on Acrobat, or maybe this was saved as a PDF file. So maybe this particular file was in JPEG or any other format, but again it was been opened on the Acrobat and this was been saved. That's why it is considered as a PDF. So all of these files, if you see over here, have been marked based on the application's activities. I can directly go over here and I can define and see how many files we have been tagged, that is by the software or by the user itself, how many applications were detected at the PDF level. I can define that how many applications on the restricted. So far there is no application for today's date. So basically based on date. So if you go back for months and weeks, you will see more and more options of file which have been classified, or in terms of restricted website, anything at the restricted website has happened. So this is where, in terms of context rule, if you define any policies and you say that, okay, based on my context rule, so this is my context rule, where I have selected, okay, this is my context rule, and I have defined that, okay, all of these policies in terms of, override action, or, I have just directly blocked those files in terms of anything going to webmail or file share or any other uploads. Automatically, in case if the file is already over here, and if I try to add it onto my Outlook as a new email, maybe I'll just create new email and I will drag this file and move it to my Outlook as the attachment. Automatically you can see that it is showing me that particular file action is been blocked. It is the restricted file. It can only be accessed by the person who are already having those restrictions. Other than that, if you try to do any other activity on this file, if you try to print this file, or if you try to do any other activity, automatically it will generate you that, okay, this file may affect the work. It is giving you all the restrictions. So restrictions like screen capture is blocked, printing is blocked, network access blocked, email is been blocked, disk access blocked, and data transfer is been blocked. So all of these things are already been restricted. In case if user again tries to open it, it will not allow him to open and just give him the restrictions rights that you are not the right user, to access this particular thing, and it has been restricted by your administrator. So please contact the administrator for these activities. So you can also change the logo, change the email. You can also view the security policies. In case if you have defined, automatically it will redirect to the company website page where you can view the security policies as well. So this is how you can define the rules in terms of anything which is at context data category, anything which is defined. And then again the logs would be generated. So any activity the user is trying to do will automatically generate that particular informations in my log itself. So here it is generating the information that there was a USB transfer. Let me just select, okay. Okay, so here it is showing that this particular file was blocked on the Microsoft Outlook. Just now we added, and the policy was context rule. So here it is showing me that particular part defined as a context rule, and it has been blocked. So like this, you can define the policy. Same in case if you want to just define it for data at rest. So maybe you have a network drive or you have a external storage, which is again connected to the network. You can just define those network drive directly over here, and you can just tag the file. So either you can keep it on the testing mode or you can keep it on the tagging mode. If you select the tagging mode, whatever file is there at this particular location will start getting tagged. I have just put as an example. You can put as your network drive as well, and then select the what exactly extension you want to see and who all are the user, where exactly you want to repeat the action. You can define the policies directly over here. Once you define the policies, automatically this will start doing the scanning of all the things in terms of data at rest. So if you go over here and if you try to scan down for data at rest, automatically it will be showing you all the files which have been scanned down and all the files which have been tagged. So we just saved it. That's the reason it is not showing here any kind of files. But again, this would be start running down and it will be defining all the data which have been defined by data at rest. So like this, you can define all the the data categorization, and based on your data categorization, you can apply the DLP policies. And once the DLP policy is detecting all the contents which is already defined by the policy itself, it will also generate the alerts. So alerts will show that what exactly was the action, where exactly the file went through. If I say today's date, it will showing me all the categorization that for unprotected data, for DLP violation which user has done, the cumulative DLP violation. So basically, the DLP violation which is defined multiple times, also the unprotected sensitive content. So in terms of what exactly the sensitive content which went out. So if you want to see, you can directly click on those action and just view it directly over here. Something like V transfer was done. It was under sensitive data policy. This was the user, this was the machine. The action was also override. Similar way, you will also receive the email notifications for every activity. If you see over here, the file action which was been blocked, you are receiving the information. Also the unprotected data, if it is leaving the organization, you will be getting all the logs information. So automatically a email notification will be sent to the administrator as well, and it will be logged into your alerts. So this was about the policies, what exactly you can define, coming down to visibility tool, what visibility it gives you. So if I show you the today's date, it is giving me the complete visibility of all the datas which or all the DLP violation which has happened today's date. So starting from 9:29 or I think more than before that. So starting from the late night or certain other time till today's time, what all DLP violation has happened, it has detected all of those information directly over here. So in terms of data security, if I want to see, I can view that, okay, one sensitive file was transferred to USB. The file was not controlled. That means, there was no policy defined for this. Also, the attempt to transfer files via webmails, that is through Gmail, or if we want to know, you can just click on this and this would generate you the information about all the files, where exactly it went on mail.google.com, and who is the user, what was the time, what was that particular file, all the information it will be generating. Also, if you want to know that what all files were sent through instant messaging, that means if there is any file which was shared on Skype for Business, it will also generate that information. So whether it was sensitive, not sensitive, it is showing. Or if you want to know the complete data flow, you can just click over here and it will show you the entire activity in terms of file operation: upload, download, copy, delete, create, IAM, web upload, and all the applications running down. What all things have been detected in terms of activities, it will be generating all of that information in your DLP tool. Coming down to certain other things in terms of devices which have been accessed, in terms of behavior analysis, depending upon the user's activity, you can define those behavior analysis. You can drill down the report based on the user activity. So you can see what all unproductive things he has done. It will generate all the information, and the time spent on that particular activity can also be seen. In terms of trends will show you all the things. Let's say if somebody is doing a job search, if it's just going to Indeed jobs, and if I try to just do a job search, automatically this all informations will be recorded and audited, and automatically it will be again going back, and to my SafetyCare trends, it will be also generating that informations. So it will automatically come over here and it will show you that that particular activity has happened. In terms of social networks, it is already showing 2 minutes and 4 seconds was the time which was spent. So based on how much time it is spent, also in terms of all the emails running down, you can receive all the information of that. Applications activity, in terms of if you want to block certain applications, you can either directly block it from here based on the application which is running. If you want to block URLs, you can also block the URLs directly from here. You can just see what all URLs have been run down and you can directly block it. Or you can, if you want to see the blocked activities, right now I haven't blocked anything for myself, that's why it's not showing anything. So it will only show you what all things have been blocked by the user. In terms of computer utilization, how much time user is spending, active time, inactive time, productive time, it will be generating all of that information directly over here. It will also generate the print activities, what all documents have been printed. It will also give you a very comprehensive reporting about the files which have been printed. So if you want to generate that information, you can get it from here. Also the blocked activity, in case somebody was trying to print something and it didn't happen, it didn't allow it, you can directly check over here. Coming down to the network traffic, what all applications run down, what all things have been accessed, all the informations will be generated. Also, if I want to block certain things, I can define the policies for that and I can easily block it. Also in terms of application, if I want to block certain applications, I can directly block from here. So this all you can easily manage, or in terms of if the management wants to see, they don't want to involve into any kind of blocking activity, but they just want to monitor, they can go ahead with this tab. It is directly on the URL, they can access it with their username and password, and directly they can apply the rules and everything on them. In terms of reportings, it gives you a very comprehensive reporting. I can show you what exactly the reportings looks like. So reporting is something, one of the reporting which is very useful when you run down a POC as well to the customer end. This is some reportings which will be very useful in order to give him a complete security audit about everything, all the files which have been sent out, monitored, or in terms of operations on the file itself. It will generate a complete information about that. Something like in terms of monitoring the users, administrators, where exactly the file went, what all data categories it was coming under, and what all the common activities have been happening, it will generate the complete information. Other than that, in terms of sensitive activities or any file which has been transferred, it will be generating that information. What was the file, what was the where exactly the destination of that file, where exactly the protected or unprotected the files have been defined, and there was no policy for that. It will give you the complete recommendation about that particular thing. It will generate all the information in terms of email, webmail. Right now I'm running on my virtual machine, so the logs are very minimal, but in the real-time environment it will give you a very clear picture. Something like there was a Dropbox, some certain presentations was added, or certain other files have been sent down to mail.google.com. It is generating all of that information. So cloud storage, application use, web access, web usage, all the employees activities in terms of web usage, run active time, printing activities, upload, download in terms of traffic. So this gives you a complete insight and in-depth information about each and everything in terms of security audit. Coming to the data flow activities, I can generate the complete information about all the data which went out of the organization. Something like this was the CV upload happened and it went out of the organization. What was the location, whether it was restricted, blocked, not blocked, or whether it was been under control or it was not controlled data. That means there was no policy defined. Also in terms of risk analysis, it will be doing certain risk analysis based on the activity as well. So like this, you can have the complete flow and data activities and all the information about all the files which went out of the organization. Also in terms of the file operation, if you want to know what all files have been uploaded, deleted, created, copied, you can have the complete information about all of those files in one single reporting. So that's it from my side. If there is any other questions or anything, please let me know. If you want to see anything as well in this live demonstration, definitely we can show you that as well.
Thank you, Ali. Hi all, if you have any question, you can use your chat box. We are ready to answer.
I believe there's a question from attendee Manthan. So he has raised his hand, so I will quickly unmute him and
Sure.
he can then ask the question.
Yeah, Ahmed, how are you?
Hi, Manthan. I'm fine, bro. How are you?
I'm very good. This Sentinel Safetica one, sorry.
Yeah.
Is it this is having like on-premise one, right? So
Yes, correct.
is it not a cloud-based solution?
Currently, we are not offering the cloud-based console or anything right now for this particular region. We have it for Europe itself only, and we are running a beta as well for this particular region because again, in terms of cloud offering, we are trying to generate or just try to make sure that it is something in the Middle East itself because there are a lot of compliances and it's a DLP solution. So in case if we have what exactly we have right now as a cloud base is in US and Europe. So mostly the Middle East customers are, worried that in case if there is any sensitive content or sensitive file, anything if it is goes on any other part, it will be difficult. So we are trying to, have our own local data center where we can host our solution, which is basically Safetica One Next, which will be coming up. We are into a testing phase. So as of now, we don't have anything on the cloud. If it is coming, it will be coming something in Dubai itself, where we'll be hosting our Safetica One Next, and we will be offering to all our Middle East customers.
Okay, great. One more thing, like see, most of the places and most of the users are very curious about the DLP solution. Now,
Correct.
for example, if we install the DLP like Safetica in any of the users' machine, we don't want to user to inform that we have installed it. Is it possible to
Correct. Yeah.
hide it from the user?
Yes, of course. You have the option where you can just go at your endpoint setting and you can hide everything from the user level. In terms of, you cannot, if you want to block the writes in terms of uninstall, update, or if you want to hide the process, folders, everything will be hidden. User will not see anything, any icon. Also, in case if you want to hide the client notification, you can say hide all. Automatically, it will not show him any notification as well in case if he is trying to do cumulative DLP violations. So there is a certain notification which pops up and says that, okay, this is the DLP violation you're doing. So you can hide all of that. So automatically it will not show anything to the end user. Also, he cannot stop the process. We also have the safe mode, safe mode restriction. So in case if I want to block that, I can also block that. So from the safe mode also, you cannot try to do any kind of activities. So it is a kind of completely hidden process. Folders, everything goes hidden once you install the SafetyCare.
Okay, one more thing you have discussed about the Fortinet firewall integration.
Correct. Yeah.
So is it supported with any other vendor?
As of now, no. We have a technological integration just with the FortiGate, and we can only do a FortiGate firewall integration. Basically, it's a technology alliance between Fortinet and SafetyCare. So only we are supporting as of now as a Fortinet firewall, FortiSIM or FortiMail. That's it.
So how it works basically?
So basically what you have to do is you just need to, create a API. If you go to your Fortinet and you logged in, you will see the option where you can create or generate the API. That API key you have to enter here with the FortiGate addresses. And in case if you want to import all the SSL and distribute using SafetyCare, you can do that, or you can just keep it as it is. Or you can also define the data categorization. That means you can classify the data just to detect at the FortiGate level. So automatically the SafetyCare sensor gets enabled in your Fortinet firewall with the help of a command. You can also check from your Fortinet console that okay, what all DLP sensors are active, and all of these DLP sensors will be defining the policies based on data categorization. So what exactly classification you have defined, that means in case at my place I have defined this data categorization: sensitive content based on dictionary words, based on IBAN number, credit card number, or my context tool, or data at rest. If any of those file which is residing or which is coming into the records of SafetyCare data classification detected at the Fortinet firewall level, irrespective whether the user is having Safetica client or not, Fortinet firewall will be triggering at that particular point and blocking it. So that's what all the integration is all about. So it will be blocking at the Fortinet firewall level.
Yeah, we can see everything, what is blocking and what is allowing.
Yes.
We can see it from the Fortinet also, right?
Fortinet also, yes. It will be generating a DLP report and it will be showing you what was the data categorization. It's very similar to like sensitive data. If I will show you in my DLP logs, it gives you something like this. In terms of sensitive content, it will show you the data categorization, what all data categorization it is falling under. Very similar thing you will see on your on your Fortinet as well, which data categorization was falling under and what it has detected as a file. So it will generate a complete information.
And like, what about the licenses? Licenses, we need to purchase any minimum numbers, or how it is?
Coming to the, we have a minimum number as 10 for Safetica Discovery. And it goes to unlimited. We don't have any limit on buying the license. So, but minimum license quantity is 10 for anyone, Safetica Discovery or Safetica One Protection or Enterprise.
Okay, so minimum, like in multiply of 10, we need to buy a license, right?
Yeah, it starts from like first bundle is like 10 users bundle.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you, Manthan.
What will be the like price difference?
Oh, that has to be communicated by Tessie, or I don't know if with Labib, who is the country manager for Oman. But yeah, you can run down, an email directly to Labib, after the session, and he will be sharing you the commercials.
No problem. Perfect. Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you, Manthan. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stacey.
We have another user, Deepraj, with the question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just quickly unmute him.
Sure.
Hi, Deepraj.
Hi. Thank you everyone for the great session. I have a question. It's a technical question about the solution. So yes, we have data classification and this DLP solution. What I wanted to know how this will treat the documents which we password protect, or if it is say encrypted by any form during the transit, by email or exchange within the organization. So it just came into my mind how this will.
Yes. It's a very good question actually. Something which is again password protected after classification, definitely we would have the information. But something as a file which has been downloaded in terms of web download, and it is already been encrypted. Okay, so we cannot read the content because it is already encrypted. We have to wait till the user opens the file and give the password. Once it is giving the password and file is open completely, automatically it will add the classification. But unless until it is encrypted, definitely we can only block before it leaves the organization. In case if I cannot scan that content, I will just block it. So we have the only option of blocking, but we cannot scan it in case if it is a password protected file.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, yes, that answers the question. So we still, have a policy that any document which we cannot for any reason validate, so we can restrict.
We can block it. Let's see, I can show you over here that there is a document which was a zip file. If you can see my screen, so it was a zip file. If I click on this particular file, there were certain contents which was read. Okay, based on that content, it has detected and blocked it, but it has not read the complete content. That's why if you see over here in the sensitive content, it is showing it is a partial scan. It is not showing that it's a full scan. So basically there were some files which were already having a password which we cannot open, but some files which can be opened because zip was not having a password. It has scanned and identified as a sensitive content, and based on that the web upload was been blocked for this particular user, and it was going to a file share. That means it was going to WeTransfer or maybe certain other zone. Okay, so this was been detected and blocked by our Safetica. Also, it has added a risk because it is showing that it was a file share happening. Okay, so it depends. Basically, if it is a partial scan, also we cannot do a full scan. It will again block that particular part.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Deepraj.